Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night number 76 of the Overnight Feed Recaps for Big Brother Season 25. A good Tuesday morning to y'all. All right, we had a veto ceremony yesterday, and we had a whole lot of talking that took place afterwards. So let's just get right into it so I can cover as much as possible about everything that went down last night. Now, first of all, as I mentioned, we did have a veto ceremony. Happened around lunchtime or so, Big Brother time. Feeds came back about 1 o'clock or so. And as expected, we did have a big move that was made. Yes, Blue pulled herself off. It does sound like Jag then, well, I say Jag. He's the invisible HOH. So no one knows who did it, right? Right. Blue pulled herself off. America was then placed onto the block by this invisible HOH. Jag then used his veto to pull Felicia off the block, and then the invisible HOH put up Corey. So yeah, we've got Corey and America on the block. The big move has been made. It would have been an even bigger move if people didn't actually know that Jag was the one behind it, but he couldn't keep his mouth closed, and so now everyone knows. So we'll see what the repercussions are of that, because there's certainly some less than happy people in the house, and there's some very happy people as well. We've got the running a whole gamut at this point in time. All right, so let's start off with a little conversation right after the nomination, or at least as soon as we got the feedback. We've got Bowie and Siri talking a little bit. Bowie is asking Siri, saying, "Look, did Corey and America ever offer a final three to y'all?" And Siri's denying it, say, "No, it never, no, nothing like that. We never talked about any kind of final three or anything else." And Bowie says, "Well, I guess they were a little too scared to, but I kind of thought maybe they would." And Siri's denying any sort of such thing actually did happen. All right, we've got Matt and Blue and Jag talking. Blue is saying that America wouldn't let her talk to her, had no desire to talk to Blue whatsoever. Jag is saying right after the ceremony was over that America really came up to him very hot. And now later he's going to want to talk to her, and it's not going to work so well. But apparently right afterwards, she came up to him pretty hot about the whole deal. And Jag's saying, yeah, it's not going to get any easier either. And I don't know if he means the weeks going forward or the rest of this week. The rest of this week could be a little uncomfortable. Now, I will say this is a bit of a summary. Corey's handling it pretty well. Corey just takes it in stride. He's trying to, he's torn between campaigning and betraying his showman. So he's trying to ride that fine line. But Corey is moving on with it. America, not so much. She's it's early. Everyone gets a little upset when you're first on the block. We'll see if it changes. But at least for yesterday, last night, America not feeling so hot that she feels like she's been betrayed, that now she's on the block. So yeah, Jack's saying it's not going to get any easier. It could be a long week. All right, we've got Siri and America talking. America's been in bed crying. She spent a lot of time in bed yesterday. So she's in bed crying. Siri is trying to comfort her. And America is asking Siri, said, "Did you know ahead of time that this was going to happen? Is everyone in on this?" And Siri says, "Well, I'd heard last night. I started getting some little information that maybe something like that was going to happen." She said, "But I didn't know whether to believe it or not. I thought maybe they were lying to me because I was going up. So yeah, I heard, but I just didn't know for certain." But she is telling America that. She does tell America, says, "Look, anytime you need to talk, I'm here for you. Just come find me. I'll be happy to talk to her." So again, that's Siri's working her magic. All right, so we've got Corey and America now lamenting together, talking a little bit. They're both saying that they want the other one to stay. We'll see if that continues on throughout the whole week, but they're both saying, as much as I am a huge fan of the game, as much as I want to play the game, you're more important to me than the game itself, so I want you to stay. I'll go home. And they're just going back and forth about that. America may be a little more insistent than Corey is. America's feeling like this is all her fault because she keeps saying, "I told Blue some things." I think what she's talking about, and it comes out a little bit later, is basically telling Blue that maybe how comfortable would you feel going after Matt and Jag? How comfortable would you feel trying to go to the end of the game with the two of them? And basically hinting around that Matt and Jag needed to be targets. So apparently America told Blue that. Blue, of course, went and spilled the beans to Jag and Matt, and So America's feeling that that's the reason now that Corey and America are on the block. I think it's a whole lot more than just that, America. That doesn't amount to a hill of beans. You were going to go on the block already with Blue working and so anti-Corey and anti-America. It was just bound to happen. But Blue's really taking the blame for this completely. All right, we've got Corey and Bowie Jane talking. Corey is saying that Corey's saying that Matt and Jag thought that Corey and America were coming for them, and so he understands why they came for Corey and America. Well, yeah, they were. They talked about this very next week that they were going to go after Matt and Jag, but he's saying, yeah, they thought we were coming after them, so they came after us. Bowie Jane is playing dumb. She's denying everything, saying, I'm not involved in those conversations. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what led to it. I just don't know. She's saying that she started to get an inkling last night that something was up, but they don't tell me anything. Corey is saying that his plan, really his true plan, had been a final five with him and America and Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane. He really thought those five could have gone to the very end. And he said, and then after that, Bowie Jane, I really was thinking a final three of America and myself and you. We could have been the final three fighting for those two chairs if we'd stuck with all of this. So Corey says at one point, again, kind of what he told America as well, that he really wants to stay in the game, but he cares more about her than the game itself. And we'll talk about this conversation a little bit later, but they're having that conversation. Meanwhile, Jag has told America, kind of a little screenshot right here. They're in the bathroom. Jag tells America, says, look, I'm available to talk if you want to talk a little bit later. America has no interest in talking. She tells Jag, says, you can literally F off. And yeah, she used a little more wording than that, but she was very succinct in letting Jag know what she was thinking about him right now. So she tells him that as she walks out the door. Jag immediately then goes up, kind of interrupts the conversation with Corey and Bowie Jane and says, look, I'm not down for that level of disrespect. I really want to try to get you and America and me and Blue, let's all get us in a room together, hash this out. Let's clarify everything out, because I'm not going to put up with this kind of disrespect. But she just got put on the block. Give her a little room, Jag. Corey says that's fine, but just let it sit for a second. Let's not do it right now. Just wait a little bit. But yeah, Jag's not happy. I don't think America and Corey are real happy either. Corey, let's go back to that Corey and Bowie Jane conversation after Jag mentions that and goes back downstairs. Corey is pitching to Bowie Jane that if he stays, he said, if I stay, guaranteed you make final six, because if I win this next HOH, I'm going after Matt and Jag. I'm not going after you, Bowie Jane. And if one of them wins HOH, well, I'm going home. So no matter what, if you keep me, you're going to make final six, Bowie Jane. So that's his initial pitch to her. Bowie at one point talks about the fact that the whole time Corey has never really included her in confidential information. She says, you never said you were going after Matt and Jag. And I think he says that as though, because he says something like, well, I wasn't until later. But I think the way she was saying, it's more like, you never involved me in any of your detailed plans, your confidential plans. It was always the superficial stuff. She's mentioning that. She says, no one has been saying things to her, including her really in the conversations. And Corey responds saying, yeah, I thought you just kind of wanted to keep it a little less formal. Well, I just got the feeling that Bowie Jane is kind of pointing out that, now you're coming to me, now you're saying final three and all that, but you just didn't really act like you were quite that bought into me as being part of your final group, since you didn't talk to me about the really strategic stuff. And she has a point. But on the other hand, when you're not willing to give out any information, when you're going to play dumb the whole time and not have any say on anything that goes on, why should anyone ever include you in those kind of conversations? Because it'll just come back and bite them. But I think she's pointing out that, you're saying it now, but I'm not sure I'm completely buying it. All right. But I'm not sure if Corey absolutely picked up on that either. All right. America absolutely refusing to talk to Matt and Jag and Blue at all. Corey had gone up. They were in a have not room. Matt and Jag and Blue were waiting for Corey and America to come up. America refused. Corey went up anyway. Jag says, I don't want to repeat myself, so I'm not going to really have the conversation until both of y'all are here. And so he won't really talk to Corey about a lot of the stuff that's going on. But Corey has a little conversation anyway. Corey tells Blue, he says, yeah, look, we were coming after you. And I'm not going to deny it. We were coming after you. He says, the plan this week was to send you home until you won the veto. You were going home, Blue. And so he's acknowledging his part in that game plan. But he's also, I think, trying to make sure that she understands it wasn't just him. It was the two guys that she's sitting here in this room with right now as well that were behind getting Blue out the door. Corey is saying that he loves this game. He doesn't necessarily want to go, but he also doesn't want to campaign against America. And he also just doesn't want it to be awkward in this house going forward. He's going to try to do what he can to make sure it isn't awkward. Yeah, good. It's just a game. So, things happen. Someone trumped you a little bit and got the advantage on you. Yeah, live and let live. So he's saying he doesn't want to be awkward for the rest of the week. All right, we've got Felicia and America talking. Siri had come over, tried to comfort America a little bit later. Well, now Felicia's doing the same thing. She's telling America, saying, look, at some point you're gonna have to get out of this bed and go talk to them. And I think she's talking to Matt and Jag and Blue. Says you can't stay here forever. Eventually you're gonna have to talk to them. She says, stay in bed as long as you need to. I get it. But she says, don't be sabotaging yourself once you get out of bed either. She says, you've got to keep playing. She does remind America that she was on the block 5 separate times so far. And so she knows what it's like, but you just have to keep going on. And she's right. I was on the block 6 times. You don't ever want to be on the block, but you don't ever give up either. And you don't blow up your game. You don't sabotage your game. You just keep fighting to the very end. So she's reminding America of this. She tells America, says, and next time, instead of telling someone to F off, maybe just tell them that you need a little time and just walk away, because you don't need to be basically burning bridges and all that. So good advice that Felicia is giving to America. And we'll see once America settles down a little bit if she picks up and runs with it a little bit. All right, we do have Corey and America talking a little bit more. Corey is warning America that if she blows up the house, that they'll probably both go home. He says, if you do that, you better go home, because then they're going to come after you, certainly. Or even if you do that, they'll be that much more intent on coming after me as well. So he's trying to warn her that maybe blowing up the house is a knee-jerk reaction, but maybe not what's best for our game. It is funny. At one point, America had said that she was just going to pour out all the milk in the house and crumble all the cookies. Jag is a huge fan of milk and all that. And so she said, I would just pour out all the milk. I thought that was actually pretty funny. If I was in the house, I wouldn't think it was so funny, but she does mention that. It's pretty funny. All right. But Corey's saying, look, don't be blowing up the house just yet. Let's see what we can do. America's saying that she'll accept blame, that she will tell everyone that she told Blue things in order to get the blame off of Corey, get it on her, so they'll send her home. But Corey's saying, I don't want you to throw yourself under the bus like that. Don't be doing that. Let's just see what happens. Let's just give it a little time. All right, we do have now Corey pitching to Siri. He pitched to Bowie Jane, saying, you'll be final 6 no matter what. He's changed it up a little bit with Siri, because he's telling her, saying, look, if I stay, I'll go after Matt and Jag. I'll go after Matt and Jag. Y'all need someone to go after them. So he says, if I stay, I'll go after Matt and Jag, and they'll be going after me. So you should be perfectly safe. It seems like we hear this every week. Didn't Cameron make the same kind of promises when he was on the block? It didn't work for him. I'm not sure it'll work for Corey either. Although, as I say that, I think Siri and Felicia do realize that in terms of winning comps and things like that, they don't have a whole lot of people on their side that have a good chance of winning things. So maybe Corey does have a point. Maybe some of this is going to sink in. But he's saying, you need someone to go after the 2 of them. I will certainly do that. You shouldn't have any doubt that I'll be going after the 2 of them. So why would you not keep me? But he also says, on the other hand, I know that America will probably make the same pitch to you as well. So, either one of us will be going after Matt and Jag. All right, we've got He mentions that he's saying that the only votes he's trying to get in order to try to stay this week, he'd love to get Cirie's vote. He'd love to get Felicia's vote. He'd love to get Bowie Jane's vote. He's not going to try for Blue's vote. He's not going to try for Matt's vote. Imagine that. I imagine that who knows? I think Blue wants both of them out. But yeah, he's just going to go for Cirie and Felicia and Bowie, so he'd love to get on board with them. It's going to be a hard effort, Corey. Corey is warning Cirie as well that Matt and Jag and Bowie and Blue might be a thing, that he walked in on them. The four of them were talking together. He said, just so you know, those four are probably pretty tight with each other. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about who you want to go home and who's on your side, who isn't on your side. He does also tell her, says, look, I hate to say it, but if America goes home, if I no longer have America by my side, Cirie, you're my number one. He says it's not because we have worked so close together so far this season or anything like that. He says it's just because I know who the enemy is, and I know you're not, and I know we can work together and benefit each other. So if she goes home, just so you know, you're my number one that I'm going to try to work with going forward. All right, we've got Corey saying that. All right, this is still continuing with Cirie. Corey is saying that, look, I understand Matt and Jag made a massive move in putting the two of us up. But he's saying, we could make a massive move back against Matt and Jag by keeping me. We know they want me out. If we turn around, if y'all vote and keep me in the house, that's a massive move, a massive blow back to Matt and Jag that we can make here. He does mention to Cirie. He says, look, I had a final three with America and Bowie Jane. He's kind of throwing Bowie Jane under the bus a little bit at that point in time. And then at one point, Cirie says that she loves America, but her relationship with America just isn't as strong as the relationship she has with Corey. So, Cirie kind of making some hints without actually promising anything to Corey. All right, we've got Cirie and Matt now talking to each other. Cirie is now talking a little bit about, would it be beneficial to maybe keep Corey? Matt's saying that he does have a better relationship with Corey, but Corey's just too big of a threat, that Corey will be going for them, Matt and Jag, no matter what happens at this point in time. And Matt mentions as well, says, we can beat America in probably any type of competition. He said, I'm not sure if we can beat Corey, though, in the middle of competition. So I just think Corey is too big a threat for us to allow him to stay in the house. And Cirie at that point says, well, I'm on board with whatever you and Jag and Blue want to do. I'm just tell me what y'all are doing. I will vote the same way, and we'll make it happen. And Matt does mention as well, he says, I do have a tighter relationship with Corey than I do with America. And he says, even though I think Corey needs to go home first, he said, we need to send Matt home. I mean, we need to send America home immediately after Corey. So we can't let her stay in the house either. And so Cirie saying, okay, well, we'll talk about that. All right, we've got Blue and Corey talking a little bit. What an odd couple there. I think they was out on the hammock. They're talking to each other. Or were they sitting on the benches? I think they had a couple of conversations. But Blue and Corey are talking. Blue is saying that America had approached her at one point and said, have you thought your final plan through, or do you really want to go with Matt and Jag to the very end? Do you think you could beat them? And basically throwing Matt and Jag under the bus. And Corey says, was she that direct? And Blue says, oh yeah, absolutely. She mentioned both of them and questioning why I would want to go to the end with them. And she's saying that America had also told her that America could work on Corey to get Corey off of Blue's back. And Corey said, I wish he told me some of this stuff, but all right. Corey is also telling Blue that Jag had told him on Friday that he was HOH and that they planned on getting out Blue until she won the veto. So he's throwing Blue under the bus a little bit. He's letting Blue know that he knew about Jag's invisible HOH way before Blue did, and that Blue was very much the target, that she just wasn't a pawn for a backdoor plan, that she actually was the target until she won that veto. So he's making sure she understands that. Corey's talking about how weird it is that Jag and Matt were targeting Blue, and then just 12, 24 hours later, now that they're working together. He says, kind of weird, but Big Brother. Welcome to Big Brother. All right, Blue is talking to Corey a little bit more, telling Corey that she does believe him, that she's considering his pitch, that maybe Matt and Jag aren't her closest friends, and she's considering what he's telling and saying, and that she absolutely does believe him, that he'll go after Matt and Jag if he stays in the house. But here's the thing, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that Blue would ever be okay with Corey staying in the house. She stayed rather cool throughout the conversation. Yeah, she's talking, but she's just not, her body language just doesn't suggest that she's real happy to be sitting there talking to Corey whatsoever. So I'm not sure that she's really considering it. All right, Corey is saying that, and I thought this was a valid point. Corey says, look, the fact that Matt and Jag put you on the block, even if the plan was just to backdoor me and have you as a pawn, which it wasn't, but even if that was the case, Blue, the fact that they put you up on the block as a pawn should tell you something about your pecking order in terms of you and Blue and what they think of you and all that. He said, they put you on the block. Just think about that a little bit. Yeah, I think she'll think about that. Again, I'm not sure that she never forgave Corey for putting her on the block as a pawn. I'm not sure she's going to forgive Jag for putting her on the block either. All right, we've got Corey saying that I certainly think she'll use that as the excuse when it's time to send him out the door at some point if she has that opportunity. All right, Corey is talking about some of his alliances to Blue. He's saying, look, me and America and Bowie Jane, that was never real. That was just kind of one of those things that Nicole called out. And yeah, we were kind of talking, but it wasn't a real thing. He says, but what was real was the final five of myself and America and Matt and Jag and Blue. That five was good. And he says the other thing, Blue, is you got to understand that I'm pretty sure that Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane are a valid group of three that you're not a part of. But just again, remember, you got put up and not Bowie Jane on the block. It's Matt and Jag and Bowie as a final three. Yeah, we were a final five, but that's your final three right there. All right, we've got America talking to Corey some more. She's telling Corey that she's upset that Bowie is lying about knowing the plan. Remember, Bowie's been saying, yeah, no one tells me anything. I didn't know anything at all until late last night. And she's saying everyone else is coming clean, saying they knew about the plan, they were on board with it and all that. She says Bowie Jane's denying having anything to do with it. And she says, that just kind of irritates me that she won't come clean. All right, we've got Corey pitching to Felicia, pretty much saying the same thing. I'll fight for you against Matt and Jag and all that. He is telling her about this final five group, again, of him and America, of Matt and Jag and Bowie. Did I say earlier Matt and Jag? Yeah, a final five. When he's talking, when Corey's talking to Blue, he mentions a final five of him and America and Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane, and saying you weren't part of that one. You're not part of the three of Matt and Jag and Bowie either. And you got put on the block. So a little clarification there from my part. So yeah, he's mentioning alliances she wasn't involved in. And now he's telling Felicia the same thing, saying, there was a group of five. We were solid. We were into it. And you weren't part of it, Felicia. So just because I'm gone, I don't think that suddenly you're in with the majority, because you're not. And you need someone to fight against that majority. All right. America is explaining to Siri what she had said to Blue about Matt and Jag, about maybe not feeling comfortable going to the end with them if she was Blue and all that. So she's mentioning that to Siri. She's upset with Jag for blindsiding her and Corey rather than confronting them with this information, rather than giving them a chance to talk it out and all of that. That's part of Big Brother. But she's upset about that. But she's also admitting, she said, we were going to go after Matt and Jag next week. So they just got to us before we got to them. So she is admitting at least that they had the guns pointed at each other. All right, Siri and Felicia now get together and are rehashing the talks that Felicia had with Corey, that Siri had with America. Felicia is saying that America would be easier to work with going forward. Siri is also saying that America won't ever forgive Blue. She doesn't think. Is that good or is it bad? I don't know. If Blue's a target, it means that Siri and Felicia aren't. But yeah, Felicia doesn't think that Corey would be easy to work with. Sari thinking America is going to be gunning for Blue and Matt and Jag. And Felicia's saying that if they did make a move against Matt and Jag, it would be a huge move, but they'd have to be very careful about it. And she's saying we'd have to put both of them up, and then after one of them goes home, the remaining one and Bowie Jane would have to go up the following week. And they are wondering if that would be easier to do if Corey was still in the house. So maybe there is a little opportunity, a little chance going forward. And they're saying, we've got 2 days to figure it out. Now, if they decide that they do want to keep Corey to fight against Matt and Jag, that gives them 2 votes, but they need 3. And I don't know that they could get it from Blue or Bowie Jane or Matt. So even with Felicia and Sari on board, I'm not sure it's there. And if they don't have the votes, then they're going to abandon that plan super fast. So looking okay, a little better for Corey, but I still think he's in major trouble come Thursday. But they are talking about it. They're wondering if it's easier to keep Corey. Felicia, I think Felicia's really shook by this final 5 that Corey mentioned that does not include Sari and Felicia. And so she's worried about that. Sari's worried that Corey might go back to Matt and Jag. She's saying if we send Corey out the door, there is no way America is going back with Matt and Jag. Not after this meltdown and blow up and all that. But she's saying, but if we got rid of America, then Corey, I could see him, I think, use the word weasel. I could see him weaseling back in with Matt and Jag at some point in time, and that would be dangerous for our game. And he would do that. America wouldn't do that. So they got to figure this out. They got 48 hours. With this season, they'll probably figure it out about 20 times between now and then and flip back and forth every single time. All right, we've got Felicia mentioning that Matt and Jag haven't mentioned Final Four to them yet. Again, she's thinking about this Final 5 that Corey mentioned. She's saying, we're supposed to be working with them. They've never mentioned a Final Four. She thinks that the plan is to maybe from them to take out Corey in America. And she's worried. She says, after they take out Corey in America, are we next, Sari? You and me go out as the next 2, and then maybe they go against Bowie and Blue after that. She's a little bit worried about it. So she's talking about that. All right, Corey and America are in bed chatting, a little non-game talk, really just talking about life and everything else. So they're in bed talking a little bit, while Blue and Bowie and Jag are in the scary room being very loud. Corey and them can hear them in that front room as they're talking in the scary room. Blue and Bowie and Jag are talking about travel stories, other non-game related conversations. So neither group really talking much game. But we do have Felicia and Sari then back in their beds in the comic room. And they're talking a little game. Sari is saying that Bowie won't go after Matt and Jag. She just doesn't see Bowie Jane ever doing that. They're saying that that after they get rid of Corey, maybe they can then get America to get rid of Matt and Jag, and then Blue could take out Bowie, and then it could be the 2 of them and America, and maybe that's their path to the end. There's a whole lot of folks that have to win a whole lot of HOHs and vetoes to make that happen. They make it sound so easy, right? But they do have a game plan going forward of maybe how they can make this work. All right, we've got Matt and Jag and Blue move to the kitchen for some pizza, and then eventually they move to their favorite spot, that downstairs bathroom. Blue is saying that Corey is going around saying that he is a scapegoat because of what Blue said. Because of what America said. Jag is saying, now, a scapegoat is someone who's innocent, and Corey is not innocent, so he is not a scapegoat. And Matt is saying, talking about innocent, if America was innocent of all of this, then she wouldn't be refusing to talk to us all day long. So they're all burned on both of them at this point in time. Jag is thinking that going forward for the rest of this week, they need to avoid one-on-ones as much as possible. Remember, he already said he wasn't going to talk to Corey without America in there. He says, let's avoid the one-on-ones, and we'll make sure we always talk in groups. And that way, America, for example, can't deny that she was passing information on to Blue. She may do it if Blue's not in here, but if Blue's in during the conversation as a group, Blue would call her out, so America can't be doing that. So he's thinking that's a way to keep everyone honest about who said what and everything else. So he's saying no one-on-ones, all group conversations. Blue is pointing out at one point that she knows that obviously first place gets $750,000. Second place gets what, $75,000 now. But she's also aware that third, fourth, and fifth place get some extra bonus prize money for finishing as well as they did. And so she's saying that not only does she want Corey and America gone, she wants to make sure that they don't get any of that extra prize money because they do not deserve it. Blue is also calling America super bitter, say she's going to be the worst bitter juror of all time. She's incredibly bitter. We'll see how bitter Blue is when the shoe's on the other foot, when Blue's potentially walking out the door. I think we'll see some bitterness there as well. Blue is talking about how loyal the three of them are, Matt and Jag and Blue. Weren't they just getting ready to put you on the block or put you on the block, get ready to send you home, Blue? But she's talking about how loyal the three of them are, that even if she leaves at some point for the rest of the season, that she'll be proud that she didn't play like Corey in America. Okay. She also says that out of every B here, America will be the most bitter juror of all. I try to stay positive about everyone in the house and all of that, but the way Blue has made this so personal in her attacks and everything about the way she's playing the game, because she's made it so personal, I'm kind of ready to see Blue head on out the door. One person maybe I don't want to see going too much further because she just made it so personal. That's not the way you can play the game of Big Brother. But yeah, she is definitely dragging America at this point in time as she talks to the two guys. All right, Jag is saying, now talking about getting a little cocky, things going to your head a little bit. It's not just Blue. Jag is saying that Corey and America should be honored that Jag and Matt and Blue let Corey and America get this far. They should be honored that they got to play with them and make it this far ahead in the game. Yeah, don't let that head get too big of yours, Jag. Get too cocky, too arrogant at this point in time. This week is working out. I do think they're in a great position because who's going to beat them in HOHs and comps going forward. But America and Corey have been playing the game. It's not like they're just sitting off to the side doing nothing. They've had strategy and all of that. But yeah, Jag's feeling like they should be thanking them for letting them go this far. And with that, we're gonna shut it down. The lights are off. Everyone's in bed by 3 o'clock, 3:15 or so, Big Brother time. So they call it a night. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see. Give it a little time if America maybe is a little more willing to talk to everyone. And they may have some big group conversations and hash all kinds of things out. We'll find out. It could be an interesting 48 hours. But guys, y'all have a great Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning to give y'all a little update on what happened today and this tonight as well. Until then, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.